Imagine having an agricultural expert on call 24/7, ready to answer your toughest farming questions. Now imagine that expert lives right on your phone and doesn't need a single bar of internet service to work. Okay, so let's get right into it because today we're looking at a piece of tech that's doing just that, and it is a complete game changer.
To really get why this is such a big deal, we have to start with this number. In India, for every single government agricultural extension officer, there are over 1,160 farmers who need their advice. That ratio? That tells you everything you need to know about the scale of the problem. And that leads us straight to what we're calling the farmer's dilemma. We're talking about a massive information gap, where getting timely, expert advice can literally be the difference between a successful harvest and a devastating loss. This isn't just about spreadsheets and profits. It's about livelihoods and, honestly, our food security.
And what's wild here is how these hurdles just pile on top of each other. With only 29% of rural adults even online, any web-based solution is a non-starter. Then you've got digital literacy barriers. And even if you could get advice, it's often way too expensive or just too slow. The source material points out that waiting for an answer can lead to crop losses of up to 30%. That's catastrophic for a small farm. It's clear farmers need instant answers, right there in the field.
So this brings us to the big question, the puzzle that's driving all this innovation. How do you solve this massive, complicated problem? How do you get that expert knowledge into the hands of millions of people without needing the internet and make it so anyone can use it?
Well, the answer, it turns out, is to put that expert directly into the farmer's pocket. It's a whole new way of thinking about the problem. And this right here is the core idea. It's brilliant. Instead of waiting years for better internet infrastructure, the developers just decided to sidestep the problem completely. The solution isn't about connecting the farmer to the cloud, it's about bringing the cloud down to the farmer, right on their own device. And here it is, the Farmer AI Assistant. It's a mobile app that has its own brain, a built-in language model that works totally 100% offline. It is a self-contained expert ready to give advice anytime, anywhere. No signal required. This quote from the research paper really gets to the heart of the mission. This isn't just some cool tech experiment. The goal, from the very beginning, was to bridge that huge human gap we talked about, connecting all that expertise with the people on the ground who need it the most. Okay, so how does this all actually work? How on earth do you fit a powerful AI onto a standard smartphone? Let's break it down. So the AI's brain, its knowledge, it all comes from its training. It basically went through a digital apprenticeship in agriculture. It studied a massive data set with over 20,000 real questions from real farmers, along with the answers from experts. So it learned from real-world problems. And for the farmer, the process is super simple. You just type in a question, the app breaks it down into tokens, which is just a language the AI can read. Then the AI model does its thing. This is called inference, but you can just think of it as the AI's thinking process, and it comes up with an answer. And finally, that answer gets translated back into plain text for you. The whole thing happens in seconds, right there on your phone. Now, this right here is the magic that makes it all possible. The original AI model was huge, like 220 megabytes, but through a process called quantization, which is kind of like zipping a giant file way down without losing the essential info, the team shrank it to just 104 megabytes. That optimization is the secret sauce that makes fast, offline, on-device processing a reality. And here's the payoff. Look at this. That optimization slashed the average response time, what the researchers call inference latency, but we can call it thinking time, from almost 10 seconds down to under 6. That's a 40% speed up. That's a huge improvement that makes the app feel quick and actually useful. Okay, so we know it's small and it's fast, but does it actually work well on a normal phone? And, maybe more importantly, is the advice any good? Let's dig into the test results. The performance numbers are pretty darn impressive. The app uses about 180 megabytes of RAM, which is totally fine for most modern smartphones. And check out the battery usage, it only drains about 3 to 4% for every 10 questions you ask. So you can use it all day without worrying about your phone dying. This thing is built for the real world. But here's the real test, right? The quality of the advice. So look at these examples. Someone asks about aphids on tomatoes, and it gives multiple solutions, including organic options like neem oil, and even using ladybugs. For black spots on a mango tree, it correctly figures it's probably a fungal disease and suggests specific, actionable steps. This isn't generic stuff, it's real intelligence. And hey, don't just take my word for it. When actual agricultural experts review the AI's answers, they rated a full 85% as correct and helpful. 85%! Only a tiny 5% were found to be incorrect or not useful. That is an incredibly high accuracy rate for an AI that's running all by itself on a phone.
So this is clearly a huge proof of concept, but what's maybe even more exciting is thinking about where this technology could go from here. It's really building towards a much smarter future.
I mean, just look at the roadmap for this thing. We're talking about multilingual support for local dialects. Imagine just using your phone's camera to instantly diagnose a crop disease, or using voice control so it's accessible to farmers who can't read or write. Personalized advice based on your exact location. This isn't just an app, it's a platform for the future of farming.
And that leaves us with one last really fascinating question. We've seen how this can change farming, but what about other fields? Think about it. Basic healthcare in remote areas, or a mechanic's assistant where there's no internet. What other experts could we put in our pockets ready to help anytime and anywhere?